Yes, they did fall up short a little bit against Penn State, which, I mean, that's a top 10 team in the country as well, so it's understandable why they did lose in straight sets. Speraw, he's the right man at the top.
Ohio State will serve to get this match underway. Again, the Buckeyes 6-0 on the year. As the ball comes over, and a high set out to the near side with a roll shot from Alter. Ball blocked back and recovered by the Bruins. Joust at the net, and a whistle will be blown as the first point will go to UCLA. Ohio State going into the net on that attack, and the Bruins up 1-0.
Yeah, and you can already tell early on that Ku Jensen is going to be a problem in the middle there. You saw it on that last point, just how important his height, his physicality is going to be right around the net.
Ku Jensen gets the kill there, and despite the fact that he's the setter, he's a very good attacking setter. You mentioned that height as a roll shot delivered over now. And a nice back set there to Samuel Clark. Well, Clark, the freshman who was this week's off-the-block freshman of the week and the MIDA defensive player of the week, he evens things up for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, it looked like Ku Jensen was going to get a service ace right there to give UCLA a quick 2-0 advantage, but instead, Ohio State, good job to keep the point alive.
And now Clark will go back to serve. Your starters this afternoon for the Buckeyes: Martin Lolleman, Reese Devilbus, Michael Wright at the setter spot, Tyler Alter, Ethan Tolley, Samuel Clark, and Parker McKesh, the libero. As UCLA takes that point off the block, and 2-1, Bruins back on top.
Yeah, certainly an important point. The Bruins easily could be ahead 3-0 here, but still getting that point, finding a way to establish your footing. Really didn't have any opportunity to get out in front in any of the 3 sets against Penn State last time.
Serve was tracking out of play, but Lolleman chooses to play it as Alter is blocked back on his attack. To the left side now with a tip over from Lolleman. A nice dig down the middle by Power. Blocked back, and that ball is out of play. Check that. Yes, out of play. So point to the Bruins.
Originally thought they were going to award Lolleman. He did a good job of blocking that ball, but I guess sent it a little bit too far wide. Let's take another look at the replay. Yeah, that was wide. That didn't nick the line. That's going to be a point for UCLA.
Hard swing from Lolleman, and he'll register the second kill of the afternoon for the Buckeyes. We mentioned in the open, Martin Lolleman, who had 16 kills and hit .448 on Friday. He had it in 2 aces, 6 digs, 3 blocks, all around really good stuff from the junior out of Belgium.
Yeah, Lolleman, he really impressed last time. You said it's 16 kills. That was certainly a great showing from him.
And a nice serve there from Michael Wright as tracking out of play to keep that ball alive was Alex Knight. And UCLA will go back up by 2 as the ball tracks its way out of play off the block.
Yeah, Lolleman was in good position for the block there, but of course sent it wide into the scorer's table. Another point for UCLA. This is a good start for the Bruins. They needed this, all things considered.
Ohio State had only 5 blocks on Friday. That's an area for them where they've been really good this season. One of the best teams in the country, but yet to get a clean block this afternoon is the tip put down. And early on, UCLA feeling things and looking good.
Yeah, Austin Youngren right there. Take another look. Right in front of the net. Yeah, just sends that ball straight down. He's got the height, the physicality to do so, and does so exactly there on that point. UCLA now by 3.
Youngren with his first kill of the match there on his first touch. As Alter now will go into the triple block, and it's going to be put down by that front line for the Bruins. And UCLA with now a 4-point advantage.
Yeah, this is pretty telling stuff because UCLA and USC both coming up short against the Eastern Powers in Penn State and Ohio State respectively. Now we flip the opponents. UCLA doing a much better job against the Buckeyes. Kaczynski,
the primary blocker on that play, and then the serve there goes long for UCLA's first serving error of the match. The Bruins on Friday had 19 serving errors against Penn State. They are the best serving team in the country, coming in averaging just shy of 2.5 aces per set on the season. As now it'll be Lolleman with a float serve over to Power. And soaring in out of the back row, it's Matautia who picks up the kill. It's his first of the match, and the Bruins back up by 4.
Yeah, nobody's going to get in front of Matautia there. Just the physicality sent it to the back row, like you mentioned. A huge point for them, but really, you talked about it earlier, David. I think the key here for UCLA is just continuing to be more aggressive, really, on that back end.
Alter, they go back to him, and he'll pick up the point on the second swing there by the redshirt junior, and he cuts the deficit to 3. Well, coming into this weekend, Buckeye coach Kevin Birch talked about how he's really looking forward to his team getting challenged this weekend. USC gave them a little bit of a fight in the later sets on Friday, but they're getting their stiffest test of the season here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a pretty darn stiff one, too. I mean, you look at these UCLA Bruins. This is a team that athletically just a far taller product than really what they saw on the USC side, albeit there were some exceptions, Sam Lewis notably for the Trojans coming in at 6'10", but this UCLA side, it seems position per position, just taller, more physical athletes.
And UCLA's hungry for a win after they've dropped their last 2 contests, right? Able to keep that ball alive. What a roll shot there by the Buckeyes. Wright traveled into the pole where the up ref is and is able to keep the ball alive, and then the roll shot down.
And that's a huge point as well, because it seems like the Bruins had been doing a pretty darn good job of advancing this, really separating themselves from the Buckeyes, now still at 3.
Serve into the net there by Tyler Alter, his 6th serving error of the season, the first of the afternoon for Ohio State.
Yeah, those are the mistakes we really didn't see on Friday from Ohio State. I believe it was only 9 service errors they had in the entire set, or in the entire match, rather.
And there you'll have your first ace of the match for the Bruins, who again lead the country in aces per set. It'll be delivered by Matt Youngren. It's his 2nd ace of the season, and Kevin Birch wants to talk things over with his team as the Bruins doubled up on the Buckeyes 10-5 early here in Happy Valley. The Big Ten Pac-12 Challenge will be back with more of it when we come back on BTN+. UCLA played a good match on Friday. They've dropped every set to the Nittany Lions by only 2 points. And early on here, they're carrying that momentum over, and they're looking really good against this Buckeye team.
Yeah, I mean, the key really so far has been limiting those errors. We talked about it the last match, 19 service errors today. Although it's still pretty early in the set, only 1 service error, and that's actually against an ace. So really a lot cleaner early on.
Clark barely gets the tip over there, and the point will go to Ohio State as double contact is whistled on the Bruins. The set was nearly too high for Clark, but he was able to use those long arms and get up on it and put it down. Reese Devilbus now back to serve for the Buckeyes. 4 aces this season for the senior, and the dump comes down there by Mats Kujensen, the freshman out of Denmark, who we mentioned earlier is a good attacking setter, picks up his 11th kill of the season.
Yeah, look at Kujensen just twisting his body so that he's able to snap it right down, gets himself the kill. I mean, that's an impressive play from the tall player, freshman albeit.
And the 6'10 freshman will go back now to serve. As out of the back row, Alter goes down the line with it, but he puts the attack long for the Buckeyes' 2nd hitting error of the match.
I think that play by Alter that really talks about, or really shows how that middle part of the court, the Buckeyes really aren't going to try to attack. Whenever you have Kujensen in that center, they're going to try to stray away from there as much as possible.
Kujensen again will approach, and a couple of Buckeyes collide into one another on that serve reception, and then the stuff up front for UCLA's 2nd block of the afternoon. And they're feeling it and cruising here in set number 1.
And that time, that coming from Matheny. I mean, you look, Daniel Matheny is just another player that you can look at on this bench for the UCLA Bruins. Stick him in the middle. I don't know if there's any player on the Ohio State side that can go over the top.
Matheny, the redshirt freshman out of Hawthorne, California. There's a tip there from Clark, and that's good stuff from the freshman as he's able to find some open court just in front of the net.
Yeah, Clark was one of our players to watch last time out in Friday's broadcast, and now finally starting to see how important he is for Ohio State. Hadn't called his name much early in this first set, and look for him to be more impactful as we move forward.
Clark had 5 kills on 7-14 hitting on Friday as the block back, and that'll be Ohio State's first block of the match. Well, now that they're able to get that one down, we'll see if they can continue it. They're a really good blocking team.
They still got 5 points to make up to at least tie this first set, but Ohio State looking a little bit better as of the last few points.
Clark, the only guy who's played in every set this season for the Buckeyes. As to the left side, a hard cross-court swing by Kaczynski. It'll be kill number 4 on the match. He leads the Bruins early on.
Yeah, and Clark got caught in between there. He didn't know whether to try and receive and dig that or let it go. Instead, kind of did a little bit of both, deflected off his forearm and goes out of play. Probably a play he wishes he could have back.
Matautia now on the serve. Down the middle, it's received by Devilbus. And Lalaman into the triple block, but it's out of play. As the Bruins can't get a clean touch on it. Lalaman there with kill number 2 on the afternoon. Back to serve now, Michael Wright. And the Buckeyes, for most of the season, have run a 6-2 offense, but on Friday and so far in this match, they've been primarily going to a 5-1 as the swing down the middle there for McKesh as he's unable to get a clean touch on the ball, and the Buckeyes trail by 6.
And Matheny was able to come down pretty hard there. Nobody really able to get in front. A good point from him, and now he gets the serve.
Matheny, the redshirt freshman, again out of Hawthorne. As a float serve will be delivered across here to Ohio State. A back set where Lalaman soars in. And the touch up front by UCLA. They're thinking about it, but I don't think we're going to see a challenge from Spara.
Yeah, we'll take another look. I don't think that there was really... Yeah, that's pretty definitive. I think we saw some contact on the far left side. I believe that was Ku Jensen, so I think that's a good call by the coach to let that one go.
And libero for the Bruins back in, and Cole Power. As that attack by Ethan Tolley will be put into the net. Wasn't the best of sets from Michael Wright, and Wright's only a freshman, so he's still kind of getting used to this collegiate level and getting those good sets off to his attackers.
And naturally, the adjustment from the high school to college level can be hard for any player. Wright is no different.
Kaczynski's serve over as Alter will go cross court, where it's dug by the freshman. They'll go back to him, and he does everything in that play. Gets the serve over, gets the dig, and then he gets the attack at the end of the play to put UCLA up by 7.
Yeah, and that wasn't a difficult one for Kaczynski to keep alive. Gets rewarded for it from the set from Ku Jensen, puts it straight down. Probably a play Alter wishes he could have done back, because going cross court there, probably not a smart play.
Ohio State will use their second timeout of the afternoon as they see their largest deficit right now at 7, and we'll head to a break as well. Bruins looking to go up 1-0 on the Buckeyes here in this afternoon affair in Happy Valley. Well, UCLA here on the East Coast for the second time this season, and they're hungry to pick up another win on the East Coast after back-to-back losses to both UC San Diego as well as Penn State on Friday. You don't want to come all this way and go back empty-handed.
Yeah, especially talk about the travel schedule. We talked with a few of the coaches prior. UCLA flew direct from LAX to Philadelphia and then a 4-hour bus ride to State College from there. So they've made some serious travel accommodations to even get into State College.
It is a hard place to get to, and there's limited flights here into the State College area. Give them a lot of credit for making the long haul.
And rebounding and playing a pretty darn good first set.
Certainly have been as they lead by 6 right now. As Devilbus off the block, it's dug down the middle by Matuatia, and then Alex Knight just takes the life out of that ball as he puts it straight down with some force.
You want to talk about vertical angle? This is like a double black at your ski resort. That is straight down.
No chance at all for the Buckeyes to return that ball, as he'll go back to serve now, the freshman out of Culver City, California, who had 10 kills on Friday, and he'll put the serve into the net for serving error number 3 on the afternoon for UCLA.
And the Bruins need to be weary because those service errors, while they are a great serving team, accounting already to 3 of them, they're still way off of their 19 that they had in their last match against Penn State, but still, that's a stat you want to monitor and try to keep down as much as possible if you're the coach.
Luke Lenton and Luke Lenton as well as Tim Baldwin in now. As you see on your screen there, Lenton in to serve the sophomore setter. Matuatia goes cross court on the cut shot, and it's going to fall for the kill as the Buckeyes unable to keep that ball with a clean touch. Matuatia so far this afternoon has 2 kills and 2 swings. He's got a dig and a block as well, the senior out of Hawaii. Ball, that's an overpass. Matuatia is going to put it off the head of Luke Lane, and the ball is just going to continue to travel. Back-to-back kills for the senior.
And Lane was not pleased with that one, or Luke Lenton, excuse me. He is not pleased. I mean, looking back immediately after the point, he kind of stared down the UCLA side, so we'll have to see if he's okay.
That ball went right off of his noggin. As it's going to be Baldwin now with the roll shot, blocked back by UCLA, this time into the double block, and it falls, but out of play. There's a blocking error there by UCLA.
Yeah, good job of having 3 players right around the spot of the net where point's going to take place, but instead goes out of bounds. Not not the result they were looking for, perhaps.
Bruins just 5 points away from taking this opening set. As the tip over from Matuatia, it's kept up by the front line, and now it's going to be Lalaman with a roll shot through the triple block, and then cross-court swing by Kuyensen. Kuyensen there with kill number 3 on the afternoon. And Mats Kuyensen, the freshman, who now has 12 kills on the season. He had a kill on Friday with a season-high 33 assists against the Nittany Lions. His serve down the line will be received by Devilbus. Tip, that's blocked back. And now it'll be Baldwin on the cross-court swing, and it's down. That's a good attack there by Ohio State.
Yeah, that's a good job of actually going cross-court. We saw it earlier where Alter tried to do the same. This time gets a better swing on it, more forceful, more momentum, and actually gets it to the cross-court with no UCLA player being able to dig it out. Much better setup.
And it looked like Kaczynski and Kuyensen had some confusion as to who was going to play that ball. As it'll be Baldwin hard down the line. It's going to go into the stands, but it's Knight who's able to keep it alive, and then, oh, just barely. Power couldn't get it over. Impressive stuff by UCLA to even keep the ball alive, and give credit to both Knight and Power for the effort.
Yeah, both the freshmen ranging back. Knight finally able to get nearly into the stands to save that ball, keep it alive. Power nearly as well, but to no avail. Great play.
Coaches have to be happy seeing plays like that as Kaczynski obliterates that ball and gives UCLA now just 3 points away from this opening set.
That was a little bit quicker of a point, you would say, David, huh?
A little bit. And a little bit of a harder point, too. As the hard swing there. There's now Matuatia back. He's got 11 aces on the season, which leads the Bruins. And yeah, that will be his 12th ace of the year, as 4 touches by the Buckeyes. A late whistle from the referees, but an easy call nonetheless.
Yeah, it's the correct call. There were 4 touches there. That's one too many. That's an easy one.
Can only get 3. And that serve long. Baldwin will go back now, the redshirt freshman out of Newbury Park, California. Serve down the line, that's received by Knight. It's an overpass, and then the shot there by Ethan Tolley, but he puts it wide. And the Buckeyes unable to take advantage of a free ball to them.
Yeah, we got a little bit of an obstruction in front of us here in the booth. May have nicked the line from what I can tell. We'll have a better angle here. Yeah, play out the point, and then ultimately, yeah, I think that was just a little bit wide. I originally thought it may have nicked that white stripe, but no, it did not.
So that'll lead to set point number 1 here for UCLA. They look to win their first set of the weekend here in Happy Valley. And the ball travels towards the net, and then it's tipped over. There was a touch at the net. UCLA's defensive efforts in that opening set helped win it for them, as Alex Knight gets the set-ending kill for the Bruins, who win it 25-16.
Yeah, the freshman shows out. He was our player to watch pregame for a reason. Gets the ultimate winning point to finish off the set. Here it is again. Alex Knight just gets them, if not exceeds them, in terms of athleticism on the court.
Talk about Penn State. They'll have the next match after this one to close out the weekend, as they'll take on USC. As the swing there by Matuatia to give the Bruins the first point of this set. And actually, that match for Penn State will be their first match of the season that is not against a ranked opponent, as they'll take on USC a little bit later afternoon here in Happy Valley. As Devilbus is blocked back. Great cover by McKesh to get in on it. And it's Baldwin now, whose attack goes long. No touch. And UCLA with the second point.
And that's huge. UCLA coming out of the break. Already had a pretty dominating first set, winning 25-16. 2 quick points. Already have a pretty comfortable advantage.
Coach Birch for the Buckeyes making a change in between sets, as Austin Gerwig will be in now for Ohio State. He's playing his first match of the weekend. So he didn't come in at all on Friday, and he'll go back to serve now. Gerwig, the junior, out of Doylestown, Ohio. Float serve over, and he puts it well long for Ohio State's second serving error of the afternoon.
Yeah, that was an easy one for the Bruins to let go. That didn't even nick the Penn State sign that you see behind the court. It was really not within the vicinity. Easy one to let go, and now back with that 2-point advantage.
So that'll put Kuyensen now back to serve. UCLA has only one ace on the day. Make it ace number 2.
Yeah, that one was not even touched. I would think Kuyensen sent that into the back row untouched. And we'll take another look with that lefty smash.
Great spin on the ball.
Yeah, just let it go long. Devilbus was one to let it go past him.
Kuyensen had 5 aces on Friday against Penn State, so he now has 6 on the weekend. As that ball off the block, and it's going to fall for Ohio State's second point here in set number 2.
Yeah, Knight as well as Power tried to team up to keep that one alive. Neither of them able to reach the ball in time. A big point for the Buckeyes to stay alive and not let this set get away from them.
Baldwin's been the team leader so far for Ohio State as he goes back to serve now. He's hitting .500 with 4 kills thus far in the afternoon as the serve down the middle cleanly received by Power, tip over, and it's an overpass, and it's going to be Matu Atia again for UCLA.
Yeah, Matu Atia, he's been somebody that prior to the broadcast maybe weren't as focused on, but he's certainly, as much as any player on that UCLA side, that's now kill number 5 for him.
On 6 swings, he's hitting .833 thus far. As Devilbus splits the block, and that's a good attack there by Reese Devilbus, who was quiet in set number 1. That's only his 3rd swing of the afternoon. It's his first kill, and you can bet he's happy to see that.
Yeah, and he was such a crucial part of that game on Friday. You really needed to see more from him. If you're Coach Kevin Birch, I'd like to see more out of him.
He had 11 kills on Friday, which was second for the Buckeyes. We'll see if that gets him going as the tip comes over, and the lines judge going to stop play, as I believe one of the ball boys may have accidentally put a ball onto the floor.
Yeah, you always see them rotating, swinging the ball from side to side behind the court, and in that case, one of the balls, I guess, got out of control, found its way into the court, and smart call by the referee to blow that because you do not want an injury to transpire.
So we'll just play everything over again as Devilbus gets the serve over. And into the triple block. UCLA is going to keep it up, but it's going to be a 4th touch if they wanted to get it over. So the ball just kept going into the net, and Ohio State with another point to bring it back within 1.
How about the effort, though, from Power on the opposite end? Wasn't able to actually keep the point alive since they ran out of touches, but still, that was pretty impressive from the floor.
Power's had some really good defensive plays this afternoon. There's a hard swing from Knight, cross-courted, and in play. There was a touch. Check that immediately. Kevin Birch wasting no time to bring up the green card, and he's going to contest that there was a touch.
I think I'm going to agree with him on this one. We'll take a look at the replay again to see if it says otherwise, but I thought that was certainly not going to be a point for the Bruins.
Well, check that. Play's going to resume. I guess he's unable to challenge. Well, Ohio State either way will be happy to get that 5th point as the serve into the net.
Yeah, Coach Knight, or Coach Birch rather, really not pleased with that. You can still see him screaming to the officials. He is not pleased that they were not able to overturn that for whatever reason.
Yeah, a little confusing on that. You're usually allowed to challenge things such as a touch at the net, but the refs there don't give it to him as the Bruins go back up by 2.
Now, there must have been some exception that we were not made aware of here, but nonetheless, play continues.
So Cole Kuczynski will go back now, the freshman out of Toronto, Canada, and the serve into the net. So some sloppy serving through these last couple of plays between both teams. As for UCLA, that'll be serving error number 7. That was one way the Buckeyes were able to take advantage of the Trojans on Friday, was serving errors. USC posted their most serving errors in a match this season with 18 against Ohio State. Bruins already with 7 this afternoon as Alex Knight will drop the kill down for his 5th kill of the day, and he puts UCLA back up by 2.
Yeah, that's an important one coming from the far side, or rather the near side to the far side. Key play, and the Bruins now extending that lead a little bit as the Buckeyes have been playing certainly better in this second set rather than the first.
Knight serve. Back set it here to Lallemand off the block. And the point to Ohio State It's clearly off the block there. Lalaman with the kill. He's also been a little quiet this afternoon, just his 4th kill on his 7th swing.
Yeah, and getting him more involved from the near side, closer to the antenna. I think that's going to be key for the Buckeyes. Rather than straying towards that center court where they've had difficulty, near and far side, much smarter strategy.
Off the block, Lalaman tries to keep the ball alive, but just a hair too far from his outstretched arm. UCLA with another point.
Yeah, and that's an inevitable point that's going to happen from time to time, just the superior athleticism there. From who else but Mau Tite.
Back set here, not a great set, but Baldwin able to adjust and get it over, as it'll be Kuyensen with the roll shot. That's something else for Ohio State. They have to have cleaner sets. We've seen Michael Wright struggle on a couple this afternoon, and Baldwin right now talking with him, just trying to encourage him.
Yeah, you can understand why. I mean, you need those points. You need to just keep that ball alive somehow, some way.
And the setter pretty much the quarterback of the offense on a team, as Ohio State will take that point off the touch. But some people who don't watch the sport nearly as much, they may not necessarily realize just how important a good setter is to a team. Serve was nearly down, but Knight able to keep it up as a high set now to the near side. And in the end, Kaczynski with another kill for UCLA, his 7th of the afternoon.
Yeah, you talk about the importance of a key setter. I mean, really that's the determinant. Whenever you're talking about which side the ball is going, whenever you're setting it up for a good kill, the setter, it's really the crucial part of the offense there. And I couldn't have framed it any better way than you already did, David.
Kuyensen now, serve over. Straight across to Lalaman. Devilbus goes off the block, and Power charges out of play to keep it alive, and then an odd move there by Daniel Matheny, who awkwardly touched the ball, and then it just lands on the floor.
Yeah, Matheny got caught in between there. He didn't know whether that had already been 2 touches or 3, so I think he was trying to either set up right there for Kaczynski and then figured, no, I might as well send it myself. Got caught in between, didn't really know what to do, and point Ohio State.
How about Power, though? He's had some really nice defensive plays so far in this match. He's only been credited for 2 digs. He's also got a couple of assists to his name. The freshman out of Huntington Beach, California, had 6 digs on Friday. Atuatia's serve long. And a free point there to Ohio State.
Yeah, those service errors, they've started to mount a little bit more for the Bruins. They've got 8 now. Ohio State with only 4. You look at this second set, how have they been able to stay in it? Really, it's been Bruins' own wrongdoings.
Float serve across to UCLA, as it'll be a cross-court swing by Kaczynski, and again, it's down. 8 kills here for the freshman, who's just continuing to feast today on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he's been continuing a strong pursuit. He did a really good job against Penn State, continuing that type of performance as well here today.
Redshirt freshman Matheny back now as it's received by Lalaman, and a quick back set here to Clark, who tips it over. Lalaman tries to throw it down, and it's out of play. No touch. And we're going to get a challenge by Kevin Birch.
Yeah, we'll take another look. I thought there may have been a touch there. Yeah, I think you're going to see that might have been on Kaczynski. Yeah, I don't know what you were thinking there, David, but I mean, the Ohio State coaching staff very quickly rising to its feet, signaling they wanted the challenge that much as they had a few points prior, but this time actually awarded said challenge.
Well, after the ball landed, as you'll see there, oh, maybe there was a hand on it. The up ref, who was standing right in front of that play, was kind of nodding his head to Kevin Birch like, no, you don't want to challenge that. But he puts up the green card, and we'll see what the referees come away with. All of the Ohio State team immediately was putting up their hands, saying there was a touch.
Yeah, they were making the money sign to signal a touch here. Another look again. I really think it could have gone off Kaczynski's right hand. Yeah, there it looks a little bit less clear, but when we had that slow motion look, that was as good of an angle as I think we're going to get here, as well as for you viewers at home. So my guess, I'm going to say yes, overturn it, point for Ohio State. How about you, David?
I'll admit that I'm not able to tell. Those plays sometimes for me are a little too tough to tell. But of course, ambiguous. The referees here have extra angles. Oh, I think there was a touch. Slowing it down even more there. Yep. It looks like the fingers of Kaczynski just slightly came back on it.
Yeah, it's the right thumb and the pointer finger. You'll see it there again. Yeah, the pointer finger whips back.
To me they look like that should be an Ohio State point. Of course, the down ref is still looking at the monitor, at the DV Sport cameras that are set up inside here around Rec Hall. And we'll get the decision here in just a moment by our down ref. Our officials today, Michael O'Connor and Eric Hoffman. And the decision now, point to Ohio State. A good challenge for the Buckeyes. And the up ref a little surprised by the call. He really was not convinced that there was a touch. And point to Ohio State.
Yeah, that's the right call. That's a huge one, too. 14-10, now instead 13-11. That's an important play. Good challenge by Birch. And now this game is finally, or rather this set is finally starting to point in Ohio State's favor.
So the first challenge of the afternoon goes Ohio State's way as they win it. And just waiting now for the referees to whistle play back in, and we'll get it as Samuel Clark will get play back underway here with his Buckeyes trailing by 2 here in Rec Hall. Knight into the block and a great cover by Matu Atia. Cross-court swing now that soars right to us. And nowhere near landing in play. Point Ohio State.
David, that was fantastic. You were talking about catching the ball, and instead you were still able to talk. Didn't even lose your attention span one bit. You had your hands up ready to catch like you were a baseball catcher.
Well, you and I have had a couple of close calls this weekend sitting down here courtside. Of course, you had the double whammy on Friday.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit, David. Thanks.
We had a play earlier today where John Spurra was standing right next to us, and a ball traveled towards us, hit right off of one of the chairs where the coaches sit, and then came towards you and I. Of course, you and I had some quick reflexes.
Right, naturally. I mean, cat-like, I would even say.
Just getting ready in case they need us to play for any reason.
They put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play.
I think they could use your height certainly out on the floor. I don't know if I could be of as much help, as Ohio State is now back within 1.
We'll put you at libero. You and Cole Power can rotate.
Power, or you could also put me with Parker McKesh for the Buckeyes.
Either of them would willingly give up their spot. I'm sure they could do a good call.
So it'll now be Michael Wright to serve here for Ohio State. His Buckeyes clawing their way back in, but a serving error there. Going to stop that momentum as UCLA will go back up by 2.
Yeah, and these next few serves are pretty crucial. You got Alex Knight back there, one of the better servers for this UCLA side. Need to avoid those service errors because really those have been the downfall in this second set for the Bruins.
And that was what the downfall was on Friday for USC, as the third ace of the afternoon for UCLA will fall. Alex Knight on it, only his 4th of the season.
Yeah, take another look again. No Ohio State players getting in the vicinity. That splits in between both Devilbus and Nikesh. Neither of them even made an effort to go to the ball, but get the service ace.
So UCLA back up to a 3-point advantage. As Knight again on the serve, it's received by McKesh. A back set here where Lalaman will be stuffed. Point UCLA, the solo block there for Matu Atia, and a little bit of a stare down afterwards by the senior. Block number 3.5 on the day for the Bruins, and it's going to be timeout Ohio State, their first of the second set, as they see themselves trailing by 4 after a nice run. He's still hitting at an impressive .590 on the match with 3.5 blocks, 3 aces as well, and really all around things just cruising for John Spurra's team.
Yeah, hitting .590 as well as with 3 service aces. Although you would like those service errors down a little bit, and it's been a pretty darn flawless first set and change for the Bruins. They'll look to continue that type of offensive success and finish off the second set and ultimately the third.
UCLA won that first set 25-16, and they lead by 4 now on the heels of a 3-0 scoring run. We haven't seen many runs this afternoon, but the Bruins in the midst of one right now. As the serve off the tape, it'll be received cleanly by McKesh. And then the swing there by Matt Youngren to pick up the kill, and the Bruins just continuing to roll this momentum, now by 5.
And a good job by Ku Jensen of keeping that one alive as well with the block. And then Youngren was able to finally put that ball down. Good job offensively and defensively for the Bruins.
Youngren's 2nd kill of the match that he just picked up on his 3rd swing. As Lalaman with the roll shot. Cross-court set, and it's going to be a stop for Ohio State. Well, they just have to go back to the fundamentals, and that is the start of it.
Yeah, if you're able to block on the perimeter rather than just in the middle, that's what's going to really bode well for the Buckeyes because, frankly, the UCLA side, they've done exactly what Ohio State has as well.
They'll go back to Matuatia, and it's going to be another Ohio State point.
That's back-to-back times the Bruins have gone to Matuatia, gets blocked at the net and sees points go Ohio State's way. Perhaps the Bruins will stray differently this time.
So all of a sudden, Ohio State has doubled their block total through the last 2 points. And I mentioned they are one of the best blocking teams in the country. Coming into the weekend, they were third in the country, averaging 2.94 blocks per set. But UCLA will go back up by 4 off that play. Youngren now on the serve, and the ball had no chance of landing in play.
Yeah, sent that one way long. None of the Buckeyes even had to think about that one.
Easy play there for Kevin Birch's team. And we're going to see Kyle Skinner come in now in place of Austin Gerwig. Skinner in for the first time this afternoon. The sophomore out of Santa Barbara, California. His Buckeyes trailing by 3 as the tip comes over. And now Baldwin into the triple block, gets off the block and an overpass, and it's going to be point for Ohio State. Samuel Clark on the kill for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he was able to stick up there at top with the block. Neither of the UCLA Bruins in the vicinity could keep the ball alive, and Ohio State making a little bit of a run here.
Skinner again on the serve, but as the Buckeyes cut back within 2, it'll now be a 3-point advantage. And we'll see McKesh come back in.
Yeah, that's a real momentum killer to send a serve long like that in that manner. And the last thing the Buckeyes want to do is rack up those service errors. Now they've got 6.
And especially late in a set when you can't give up as many points and find your way back in it as Devilbus is blocked. Now Baldwin on the opposite end, and the tip/roll shot there just went nowhere and not what UCLA was expecting as he gets it to drop.
Yeah, Power comes over at the last second to try and pancake that one, can't keep it alive. So it's the point for the Buckeyes, but that's just a perfect roll shot. Nobody in the vicinity. Great play from Ohio State.
Baldwin, who's playing his first season with Ohio State, last year with BYU, as Reese Devilbus brings Ohio State back within 1.
Yeah, miscommunication on UCLA's side from the setter. Wasn't able to set the ball up perfectly for Kuyensen. Instead goes over on an easy play for Devilbus.
Jamie Wolmering serving now for Ohio State. As right side, it's going to be a nice dig down the line. Tip from Devilbus that Kuyensen gets in to dig. Matuatia goes cross court. And point for UCLA to put them back up by 2, but the Buckeyes still very much in this set.
Yeah, that's a huge point there because UCLA, as we said, a 3-0 run for Ohio State. And that's an important point because otherwise, if that point goes Ohio State's way, we're looking at a tied 20-20, 20-all second set with Ohio State serving.
So Matuatia back now.
May have been a touch, but there certainly wasn't enough via the visual replay that we were seeing anything that would warrant being overturned. I think that's the right call by the crew, and glad they kept the call on the court.
So Ohio State has brought this match back even, but Devilbus will put UCLA back up by 1 on a poorly timed serving error. The Buckeyes have had a few serving errors late here in this second set. That just kills all the momentum that your team has. As the Bruins back up by 1 now and just 3 away from this set. Serving now, Sam Berge into the match. Quick set to Samuel Clark, and the freshman continuing to keep his team in it.
Yeah, Kuyensen just could not get in front of that. Tried to whip his body away from the kill. Yeah, but he still got nicked on the left shoulder. It could have easily been going out of play and would have been a point UCLA, but Kuyensen can't get out. 22-all.
Clark now has 5 kills on 9 swings in the match as he's serving. It's over, and it's received by Knight. He'll be on the attack, and he puts it long. Ohio State has the lead. Check that. There was a touch, and the Buckeyes are shocked.
Yeah, they think it may have been on Michael Wright. They're pointing towards him. He's visibly upset, does not think he had a touch there. We'll have to wait and see if they do ultimately challenge. Looks like they're going to, David.
Yeah, a little bit of a late decision here from Kevin Birch as to whether or not to raise the card. And they're going to challenge it.
Yeah, that's smart by Coach Birch because you could see on Michael Wright's face, he was very upset, did not think that there was a touch there.
Again, this one again, it's looking at, so it happened real time right in front of us, and I didn't see the ball change spin at all.
Yeah.
And it looked to me like it just went through or over the block, but
I thought it went through because those hands were pretty much even with the ball as it was crossing over the net.
So after the quick video review there by the official, the call on the court is confirmed that there was a touch.
Wow.
So the Bruins back up by 1.
Yeah, Ohio State not happy with that call. They can certainly see, I mean, Michael Wright, as much as anybody we've seen today, visibly upset, firmly believe that he did not touch that ball. Referees disagree.
Adam Parks now serving as he checks into the match. Lalaman. Buckeyes trying to get back even in this second set. As it'll be a free ball over here from Knight. Wright on the dump, and it falls. Michael Wright with his first kill of the afternoon, and it's 23-all. The Buckeyes still in it.
Michael Wright perhaps not known for his killing ability there, but instead able to do the quick turn, send that back across to the UCLA side. Point for the Buckeyes, 23-all.
That's only his 4th kill of the season. It shows just how rarely he does that. And we're going to go extra in set number 2.
Yeah, I called it and was not surprised in the least. I figured having a little bit better of a server back there in Alex Knight would perhaps favor the Bruins. Did not appear to be the case.
So then that'll now put Lalaman back to serve. We'll see if the Buckeyes can avoid the serving errors as that one gets cleanly over. Matuatia off the block. Makesh keeps it alive. Devilbus off the block, and it's now set point Ohio State. Ohio State, as there was a back row violation by UCLA. And John Speraw frustrated with his team as we're even up now at 1 set apiece.
Yeah, that's a play that we'll take another look at here. Yeah, I really believe that it was point for Ohio State. Yeah, the overpass there, like you mentioned, David, touching the tape, can't do that. And frankly, that's a point for Ohio State. And wow, I can't say anything else besides I am very shocked at the results of that second set.
So UCLA had set point and was on the verge of going up 2-0. Instead, the Buckeyes end it by winning 3 straight points, and they take set number 2, 26-24 from the number 6 team in the country. Well, we're guaranteed here to go at a minimum of 4 sets. And be sure to stick with us for set number 3 after this break on BTN+. Couple of attacks there by Kuyensen. The first one was blocked back, but he's able to get his way on the second, and the Bruins take the first point.
Yeah, that's a crucial first point coming out of the break. The Bruins struggled so much in that second set at the very end. So to come out with a little bit stronger forte, that's huge.
UCLA leads the all-time series 20-3, including winning the last 2 against these Buckeyes. And the attack into the block and down there, as it will be Austin Gerwig, his second kill of the afternoon, and it's 1-1. Well, UCLA all-time in this challenge is 7-2. They have the best mark among the 4 schools. Ohio State, meanwhile, is 5-4, which is second among the schools. So 2 of the teams that have played better. There's another Ohio State point off of a double contact by the Bruins. And Ohio State now leads 2-1.
Yeah, that's huge for the Bruins, or rather for the Buckeyes. Need a couple of points, get those back-to-back. Now 2-1.
Ohio State looking for their first ranked win of the season, playing their first ranked team. As Kaczynski goes cross-court, it's off the shoulder of a Buckeye, and then out of the back row, Lalaman splits the block, and he puts it down.
We we said Martin Lallman was somebody who needed to show up in the third set for the Buckeyes. He's done exactly that now with 6 kills.
A quick timeout by John Spara after his team won the first point of this set. The Buckeyes have responded with 3 straight to take a 3-1 advantage, and we'll see what the 8th-year head coach draws up in his team's huddle. Bruins and Buckeyes in a good one here in Happy Valley. Ohio State's won 3 straight points to take a 2-point advantage here on the number 6 team in the country. As we welcome you back here inside Rec Hall, David Adar alongside Andrew Destin. Here's that last play that you saw.
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal effort on all ends. You know, one play from Devilbiss to keep it alive with his shoulder and then ultimately pull it away. Coach Sprott not happy, had to call that timeout.
Some really impressive plays by the Buckeyes over these last few points. As it'll be Baldwin high off the block, and another attack and another kill for Ohio State.
That's a 4-0 scoring run now for the Buckeyes. First point, of course, went to the Bruins out of the timeout between second and third set, but now it's been all Ohio State. And who else? Martin Lallman coming through again there with the help.
Baldwin picks up his 6th kill of the afternoon. He's tied for the team lead with Lallman. Here today, Ohio State as a team has 26 kills. As a diving dig there by Wright to keep it alive, and then charging out of play was Lallman, but he couldn't keep it up. It just tracked a little too far out of play. Point UCLA to stop that scoring.
Yeah, Wright kept it alive, and then Lallman tried to pancake it coming out of nowhere, but still not able to get there in time. So Bruins end the scoring run. It felt like it had taken forever.
It had been a 4-0 scoring run for Ohio State. Back set here, and the tip over from Baldwin that's punched alive by Matheny. Right side, Kaczynski. And he drops it down as he paints the back line.
Yeah, that was not a smart play on the Ohio State side by Baldwin. He tried to go for the tip over the top. That's just too easy. That's easy pickings for UCLA.
That ball was close to being out, but he was able to just put enough behind it to keep it in. Not too much. As Clark off the quick set, and it's down. Matu Atia may have had a chance at that ball had the lines judge not been there. But either way, that's a good attack by the freshman.
Yeah, that's a huge play because now you see Ohio State adds onto that lead a little bit more. It seemed like out of the timeout, UCLA is starting to regather itself a little bit. Not the case there.
3 different Buckeyes have 6 kills, as it's been a very balanced and spread attack here this afternoon. As right now, out of the back row, tipped over, but there's going to be a back row violation called on Ohio State. Holloman just a little bit too far up as he tried to tip that ball over, and it's another play from Wright where the set just has to be a little bit better if he wants to attack it. It's Matheny serve over with the Buckeyes leading by 1. Devilbiss high off the block and dug. Roll shot over now. That's handled out of the back row. This time it'll be Lallman who has his way to put his Buckeyes back up by 2. Serve across now here for Devilbiss. There's a cross-court swing there by Kaczynski. Goes off the block and keeping his team in it here, down now just trailing by 1.
Yeah, that's a huge play to keep that ball alive. And now UCLA trimming that deficit a little bit more, so now just within 1.
He'll go back to serve now, will the freshman. Baldwin hard down the line. Great dig there by Power. And Kaczynski with a free ball over here to Ohio State. The Buckeyes in their reds as Lallman goes down the middle with his swing. Out of the back row, soaring in. Great dig there. Well, initially by Mikesh to keep it alive, but then it traveled out of play. That's a hard swing to try and keep up.
And again, David, you making the catch here on the backside as that ball goes all the way through into the crowd. Yeah, you see it again there on your replay. Got a little cameo there, David.
Clark tips it down. Well, most of the Bruin front line had come to the right side of the net. Clark takes advantage of it. And Ohio State again by 1.
Yeah, he found the vacant space, the gap in the zone. You know, as the 6-man rotation, UCLA coming all towards the near side, left that gap open on the far end.
Clark now off the tape, and it's received by Youngren. Kaczynski, it's blocked back and out of play. UCLA. It's Kaczynski with another kill. He's the only player this afternoon in double figures, as he has 13 kills on the day in his 22 swings. That'll send Alex Knight back to serve now, the freshman who has an ace this afternoon. It's received by Devilbus, tipped over, and it's out of play. Gerwig there with the tip, and Austin Gerwig with kill number 2. Check that, kill number 3 on the day.
Yeah, another big kill. Ohio State now just kind of trading points with the Bruins the last few. It's really important because now that establishes a type of consistency, as now you have Wright back to serve.
Out of the back row, it'll be Alex Knight on the kill.
Alex Knight in all facets of the game as well, digging as well here instead, going for the kill. He's been impressive, really just an all-around player for these Bruins.
Knight, the outside hitter, who today has 8 kills, 3 assists, an ace, a dig, and a block. You mentioned it, doing just about everything for his team.
Yeah, he's been impressive in all facets, and he's been somebody who, without him, perhaps the Bruins not even in this position, tied 1-1, could easily be down 2-0.
It'll now be Lallemand who goes back to serve. Down the middle, it's received by Knight. And off the quick set there, it'll be Matheny who will give the Bruins the lead back. First time this set, or check that, tied up at 9, I should say.
Yeah, got a little bit ahead of ourselves there, Tad, but still UCLA doing a little bit better job. Matheny there, as you mentioned, able to slam that one down for the kill. Big for him.
That'll now send Mats Kujensen. Hard serve over. As Devilbus from behind the attack line nicks it off the block. As Matuatia into the triple block. It's kept up though by Baldwin, and now a roll shot out of the back row. Right side, it'll be Kaczynski cross-courted, and the ball's gonna find its way into the stands, and UCLA now has the lead for the first time since it was 1-0 in this third set.
Yeah, it's a huge possession there as well. Like you mentioned, Kaczynski just able to send that one going from cross court to the far side. We'll slam that one down, UCLA with that lead, like you mentioned.
We're even up at 1 set apiece here in this third set. The Buckeyes winning the second, the Bruins the first, as a solo block there for Daniel Matheny. Great job by that front line there, and Matheny especially, to read the ball and put it right back down.
Yeah, Matheny has been somebody really standing out for these Bruins, especially so on this 3-0 scoring run in the center there, now getting his 3rd kill.
That's his 2nd block of the afternoon. As the serve off the tape, and it's going to be ace number 4 on the afternoon for the Bruins. Kujensen with it, and it's his 2nd ace of the afternoon as Ohio State calls timeout. So each team has now used a timeout in this third set. Bruins in the midst of a 4-0 scoring run as they lead 12-9, up by 3 here
in Los Angeles.
So they're leaving today.
Yeah, leaving today's 7 o'clock flight. So they'll hang around, perhaps watch a little bit of the Penn State match, and then head out on their merry way. But some travel accommodations those West Coast people have to do, I suppose.
I wonder what USC's doing then, because if they're flying back tonight also, that's a quick turnaround from playing Penn State, which is supposed to start roughly 4, until getting on a flight just 3 hours later.
Could easily be on that same flight, maybe one a little bit afterwards, get in a later time.
Point there for Ohio State, as that ball likely would have fallen out of play, but it was Kujensen who chose to play it. So it'll give the Buckeyes now another point as they trail by just 1. So they've stopped the scoring run and they've cut the deficit back, so they're in it as Gerwig now serving and puts it long for Ohio State's 9th serving error of the afternoon. It's their first of this third set. They had 7 in the second set, and despite that, they still kept pace and ended up winning set number 2 by a score of 26-24. So now it'll be Matuatia to serve. Down the middle, and that's going to be ace number 5 on the afternoon. Poor serve reception by Martin Lallemand, and it'll be ace number 12 on the season for Matuatia.
Yeah, I'm going to give less credit to Matuatia and more so put the blame on Lallemand. He's got to find a better way of getting in front of that, positioning his body better.
Well, Matuatia, back-to-back aces. That one, you can give credit to Matuatia, as there was no chance for the Buckeyes to return that one. Back-to-back aces for the senior.
An absolute laser from the back line, jumping up and sending a spiking serve that crossed a little bit. It kind of had a curve to it, started down the middle, found its way to the back line on the far side.
Really nice spin there. Oh, and that ball is going to be out of play. 3 straight there for Matuatia, who is feeling it from the serving line.
You just love to see it for the young man, putting himself in a position to succeed. There, a couple of Buckeyes are able to at least, get a touch in. The previous 2 was just one person.
Matuatia now easily leads the team with his 14 aces on the year as that attack into the tape. And point UCLA, and all of a sudden, after the Buckeyes had closed it to within 1, UCLA has responded with 5 straight points to take a 6-point advantage. Timeout, Ohio State. They use their final timeout of this set as they see themselves down by 6. The Bruins feeling it, especially from the serving line. We'll step aside again here from Rec Hall. More fun volleyball, as it's been a good match thus far between the Buckeyes and the Bruins when we come back. Austin Matuatia doing everything right now for UCLA. 3 straight aces for the senior. Now it's 14 on the year, and he's brought UCLA up to 7 on the afternoon.
Yeah, taking another look at a few of these service aces. The first one there, where Lallman just couldn't get in front of it cleanly. And the next few.
This is number 2.
Yeah, second look there again, can't get in front. And then finally, at least 3 Buckeyes can touch the ball, but still not able to get it over the net cleanly. Just really impressive from the young man, putting himself and his team in a position to take this 3rd set. Originally, it looked like he was kind of going back and forth, but he kind of put things in his own hands, and now UCLA by 6, thanks to the success of Matuatia.
And by the way, he's still serving for UCLA, as they've won now 5 straight points to take this 6-point advantage. That time Mikesh able to handle it, but Devilbus has to give a free ball over as he had to adjust on the way up. Into the block, and it's going to fall out of play. UCLA continuing to roll as they now lead 18-11.
Wow, he's just going to hang back there and continue to serve as they rack up these points. Now that's a run of, I believe, 6-0 in favor of the Bruins.
Matuatia again, and that one will go long. You have to figure at some point there may be a miscue, and he has one right there. Serving error number 11 on the season for him. All in all, though, really impressive stuff from him. Some great spin behind those balls, as now it'll be Tim Baldwin to serve. His first year with the Buckeyes, he transferred from BYU. As it's received by Power, and then it's put right down on the overpass by Devilbus. But point UCLA as the Buckeyes reached over the net there to put that ball down, and it'll be, actually they came in contact with it, I should say. Clark, you could easily see there, went into the net.
Yeah, you saw the net bounce up and down. That's an easy call for the officials. We missed that originally, but yeah, that's the right call.
Too easy there for the officials. Serve there just a hair long by Daniel Matheny. UCLA, though, still with a 6-point advantage here, 19-13. They won the first set by 9, 25-16. We'll see if UCLA, or if Ohio State has another run in them late in this set, as that serve from Devilbus into the net to put UCLA up to 20 now here in set number 3.
Yeah, just 5 points away from securing that 3rd set, which is crucial between falling behind 2-1 as opposed to being ahead.
Cole Kaczynski served down the line. Cross-court swing, and that is really great stuff from Martin Lallman.
And talk about a bounce back. He was the one who was on the negative end of those serves that were so impressive from Matuatia, and instead this time able to come across, send one down, and get the Buckeyes a point.
Lallman, the team leader today with 8 kills, but we've mentioned how balanced the attack is for the Buckeyes. You've got 4 different players with at least 6 kills today. As the serve over is received by Knight, and a back set here. Knight from just behind the attack line. It's going to be an overpass and out of play off the arms of Kyle Skinner, who had just checked in.
Yeah, Skinner with a poor return there, was not able to keep that ball in play. Instead sends it across to the UCLA side. Yeah, there's another look at it. Just not able to keep it on the Buckeyes end, and now UCLA with another point to go up 21-14.
So as quickly as Skinner came in, he comes right back out of the match, as now Alex Knight will be serving. Down the middle, and that's actually going to be an ace. Tim Baldwin, I don't know what he was doing in the back row, but the ball just landed on his foot as he tried to jump out of the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if he didn't see it or if he just couldn't get out of the way in time, but either way, that's another ace for the Bruins, who now have 8 on the afternoon.
I'm at a loss of words. I got nothing for you.
Make it 9 aces on the afternoon as Alex Knight with back-to-back aces.
I guess you could say the theme of this third set really has just been serving Alex Knight, the first one, or rather the second one after the impressive returns. But yeah.
UCLA entered this third set with just 3 aces on the day. They have tripled that to 9 now. As Knight will continue serving, the best serving team in the country, and he puts it into the net.
Even so, I mean, with the service errors as they had been racking.
15-5 scoring run, and they do so as the tip over from Matuatia, who we could call the MVP of this third set. And the Bruins go up 2-1, winning set number 3, 25-16.
Yeah, for the Bruins going up 25-16, securing that third set. Now you're up 2-1, and it's quite surprising. Both those sets that they've won 25-16. So, a good job by the Bruins, and now they'll see if they can able to finish things off for the 4th set, an ultimate match victory.
So UCLA on the verge of ending this 2-match losing streak and improve. They're going to have to win back-to-back sets if they want to get that far. The teams will switch sides, and it'll be the Bruins now serving as Mats Kujensen is back. Off the tape, and it's received by Devilbus. Good adjustment there by the senior, but then a breakdown in communication as nobody chose to play the ball.
Yeah, you saw there Devilbus was one who laid out to even keep that ball alive, and instead nobody from the Ohio State side. He was looking in the direction of the libero Mikesh, but instead ball falls to the ground, and UCLA gets another set opening point.
So Kujensen will continue serving. And that serve long from UCLA to bring things even at 1 apiece. Well, Ohio State in set number 2 kept it really interesting and ended up winning it. We'll see if they can have some sort of answer like that here after just getting crushed in the third set, 25-16. At center court, it'll be Matheny off the block where it's dug by Wright. And now Baldwin on the outside. He puts it long for a UCLA point. Hitting error number 12 on the afternoon for Ohio State.
And those hitting errors have really racked up for the Buckeyes in comparison to UCLA. While UCLA does have 5 more service errors, Buckeyes having that disadvantage in terms of those numbers, certainly not playing to their favor.
Serve off the tape now for Matuatia, who had 3 straight aces in that last set, and then a nice set there. On the attack is Samuel Clark.
Yeah, Clark on the attack again at center court, just finding that soft spot. After the serve, it hit the tape. It really slowed down and allowed Ohio State to gather themselves with their offensive sets, put that down, that kill attempts, and Buckeyes now tying things at 2.
8th kill of the afternoon for Clark. As this ball tracks its way towards the net, and then Knight just obliterates it down the line. Great job there to find the hole in the defense and give his team the point.
Yeah, Baldwin was in the general vicinity. You'll see it again here. He had no interest of going after that ball. I think it split his legs.
I was about to say, I think he got megged.
Yeah, you could say he got megged. It's not soccer.
It's not.
It's not football.
But either way.
Yeah, it may as well have been with that.
Matheny now, cross-court serve that is handled by the freshman Clark, and then Devilbus high off the block, and it's down.
Have you ever seen a volleyball meg before, David?
Can't say I have.
You've got a lot of experience, so I turn to you for that. But
that's one that doesn't stick with me, so I'm going to guess probably not. I have seen a kick save, though,
right,
where the ball was tipped and then a player kicked it to keep it alive, but I can't say I've seen a meg.
Well, you learn something new every day. You see something new every day. We can add that to our resume.
So Kaczynski now will go back. Serve long there by the freshman. So UCLA on the day, 10 aces, 17 serving errors now with that one.
That's kind of a split you're probably okay with if you're Coach Spiro, as long as you're still racking up those aces as they did in that third set.
Well, coaches typically say the number that they're happy with is 1 ace to 2 errors. So they're still keeping it within that ratio, but just a lot of aces and a lot of errors that have come from this team.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's a good ratio. It's better than you would expect, but still, a lot of those seem pretty unforced and aren't even that close when they hit the bottom of the tape.
Reese Devilbus puts his Buckeyes back up by 1, 5-4 on that swing. Clark on the tip, serve. There's now Kaczynski. Back set here is soaring in Baldwin, and he puts it lightly off the block, and it's down. Tim Baldwin now with 7 kills on the afternoon. The redshirt freshman who had just 2 on Friday. Also hit in the negatives against the Trojans, but today a much better match from him. There's another tip serve from Clark, and then it's going to be the dump down from the left side. Knight cross courts it to Clark, and then a whistle as a net violation called on I lost my track there as that ball came towards me again.
Yeah, you caught it this time. Weren't able to keep your train of thought. One thing I will highlight, though, Michael Wright here, we'll see it again on the play. He runs all the way onto the opposite side of the UCLA end. See, right here, he runs all the way to their bench to try and keep the ball alive, and instead, UCLA puts it away back on their own end. But talk about the effort.
Yeah, talk about it for sure. You know what? I'll admit that I didn't even, somehow I missed that live. That's really funny, actually.
Yeah, I saw that in the corner of my eye. Like, Michael Wright is running from one end of the court underneath the net on the opposite side. Yeah, and now he's serving. I mean,
what makes it even better is that he got blocked back in time for the block attempt had the ball came his way.
He was in position. He's running all the court.
Well, he'll get a chance now as he's in the back row to stay on his side of the court as that ball off the block and down for Matuatia. Kill number 10 on the afternoon for him, and that's now the 3rd Bruin to reach double figures today. It'll put Matt Youngren back to serve now, redshirt senior out of Escondido, California. Baldwin winds up, and it's a solo block. Check that out of play, though, for Kuyensen.
Good job on that pronunciation, Escondido. You got that one really good.
Yeah, what was the one I butchered the other night?
You called La Jolla La Jolla, or La Jolla, one of the two.
I think I said La Jolla. I don't remember.
La Jolla. Okay, well, you tried. But Escondido, good job.
I appreciate it.
Proud of you, Dave.
California native here, Andrew Destin.
Making my presence felt, as I always do.
San Jose area, right, where you're from?
Oh, yeah, big Bay Area guy.
You got Stanford in that area?
Well, if they spelled with a U, Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah, that's how you know that you're insulting the prestigious university. You spell with a U. They don't like that very much. Go Bears.
Is Pepperdine in that area or not?
That's Malibu. That's LA
Malibu,
area.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not too far, actually, from UCLA's campus. 20, 30 minutes, maybe.
Serve into the tape there. And Devilbus, it's going to be blocked back and down. The Bruins there with the block. It's number 5.5 on the day. They didn't have any blocks in that 3rd set. They had 1 block in the 3rd set, so their first block here of this 4th set. 8-all our score now. Serve over from Kuyensen, tipped over now by Gerwig. And to the left side where it's Matuatia, blocked back by Baldwin. Bump set here to the near side as Devilbus had to adjust to get it over. Out of the back row, it's going to be Knight who ends the rally.
I mean, it looks like we're going to have a challenge here from the Ohio State side.
Just waiting to hear what they're going to be challenging. I'm not sure if they're going to be challenging that a player went into the net.
Yeah, I think they're going to challenge the contact. I think they're saying somebody made contact with the net prior to actually sending the ball down on the kill attempt.
Yeah, so they're challenging that there was a net fault by the Bruins. We saw Ohio State win the first challenge today, but haven't seen them win one since. See if we can see anything here on the replay.
I don't know about that one.
It looked like earlier in the rally they had been a little bit concerned that there may have been a net violation. I'm not exactly sure if it came on the swing or if it came before the swing, as in earlier in the rally.
Right. Either way, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you would need the ball to hit the ground prior to him actually hitting the net. So,
Bruins leading 2-1. after getting swept on Friday, trying to pick up the win here on this Sunday afternoon affair. As it's an overpass, and it'll be Matheny who's right there to put it down. Well, plays like that is what you have to avoid if you're Ohio State. That's just too easy for a team like the Bruins. And anytime that they get a ball like that, they're going to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, but no question. If you're ever going to set something up like that on a silver platter, any of these UCLA players are going to send it down. In that case, Matheny was the benefactor.
Wright goes into the scorer's table to try and keep it up, but he can't keep his hands in a proper position, and it'll be whistled for double contact.
Good effort there, though. We've seen him go all over the court, really, now going into the scorer's table. Take another look at it here. But Michael Wright, just somebody who's really doing anything for this team. Yeah, he wasn't in proper position there. That's a good call by the crew, though. Was not even thinking about that.
Serve over here from Kuyensen. It's tracking to the back corner. Will be right on the set. And then Devilbus is blocked as he puts it into another triple block for UCLA. And timeout going to be called for Ohio State. Their first of this set, as the Bruins now off to a big scoring run. They're leading 12-8 here in this fourth set. We'll step aside with both teams as well. UCLA trying to end this match in 4 sets when we come back on BTN+. Ohio State here on the verge of dropping their first match of the season. Still plenty of time to come back in it, but they trail by 4 right now as we take a look at their upcoming schedule. Next weekend, they play at St. Francis on Thursday, just about an hour or so down the road from here. And then next Saturday, they'll be right back here in Rec Hall to take on the top 10 Nittany Lions, where they take on a couple of California teams.
Yeah, they have a really difficult slate ahead of them, playing 4 top 10 programs in the span of a few weeks there. So certainly things not getting any easier for these Buckeyes after today's match against the Bruins. Pleased Ohio State will actually be traveling to Rec Hall to play Penn State, as they did this weekend against 2 teams that are California schools. Did not have the opportunity to play at Penn State, but of course we'll be able to do that next week.
Ohio State and Penn State, very familiar teams, despite the fact that they're in separate conferences. The Nittany Lions in the EIVA and the Buckeyes in the MIVA. They still play one another twice every year, and they're in a lot of competitions together, such as the Big Ten Pac-12 Challenge, despite the fact that they never play in it. Matuatia serving now, with his Bruins leading by 5. And Devilbus will end the scoring run. He's able to keep his team still in this set, just trailing by 3.
Yeah, that's crucially important because UCLA, only 12 points away from securing a match victory. That's something you have to watch out for. Stopping this whenever they may occur, as the Buckeyes did.
Baldwin now puts that serve long. Ohio State has 13 serving errors this afternoon, have yet to pick up an ace. They had 2 aces on Friday against USC. Serving now will be Daniel Matheny. Cross courts it to Devilbus. And a back set here as Baldwin comes in and puts it down the line. And he'll pick up the 11th point of this set for the Buckeyes.
And that's a huge win again now. Ohio State matching point for point with UCLA after the service error now. And instead the Buckeyes still a 3-point disadvantage, but trying to trim that deficit just a little bit.
Cross court serve over, and that's going to be the first ace of the afternoon as Reese Devilbus, his 5th of the season. And Ohio State trails by just 2.
Yeah, a huge one from Devilbus. He's somebody who was really crucially important in that USC match earlier on Friday. They're coming through with a service ace.
So Ohio State now has 1 ace, the Bruins with 11 of them. As the serve will be received by Matuatia, who's had a good day at the serving line. Tipped over by Knight, who was coming in. And Kevin Birch frustrated with his team after that point. Immediately getting up and talking with his team. That'll send Cole Kaczynski now back. Bruins 10 points away from the match. It's received by Lalaman. They'll go to him on the left side. He's blocked back, and Wright will charge in out of the back row. Devilbus, and the attack is long.
Ohio State thinks they got a touch, though, and it looks like they're going to challenge.
So we're going to get another challenge here now by Coach Birch.
unless, of course, the deflection had forced the ball to travel to the right. Had the same kind of momentum.
I give these officials so much credit, especially in the men's game where the ball is hit with so much speed and such force. You know, to be able to see some of those tiny, tiny nicks, really impressive.
Yeah,
and there I don't see anything.
In real time, I got nothing for you.
Exactly. But you can see guys there like Parker McCash immediately looking at the up ref and, you know, is got a stern look on his face saying, hey, that's an Ohio State point.
Yeah, pretty confident there. I think that Ohio State's going to be the benefactor of this replay review. But, of course, do need indisputable video evidence. So once the referee comes back out, we'll have an idea.
Referee still at his monitor here at the scorer's table, looking this one over. This is one of the longer replays we've had this afternoon. Again, the second match to come is Penn State and USC. The Nittany Lions back in the top 10. The Trojans trying to just pick up their second win of the season. And Penn State trying to end what's been a really good last week and a half for them after back-to-back wins out in the Chicago area. And we'll get the call now from the official. And no touch. So point for UCLA.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that one. Of course, on the replay, we didn't really see a whole lot. Perhaps the angles were pretty similar for the officiating crew, but, you know, there was nothing that we really saw.
The down ref just came over to talk with Kevin Birch. And he was not happy with the call, but play will resume now as UCLA leads by 4, 16-12 here in the fourth set, as Kaczynski will get it over. Lolleman from the left side off the block, and Power charges in for the dig. Back set here is Baldwin off the block, and that point will go to Ohio State.
That's so crucial because with the challenge going in the opposite direction for UCLA, Ohio State just struggling to get points to even stay in this contest. Easily could have been 15-14 if that challenge goes the opposite way, but still, down by 3, very much still a live set for either team to try and get.
Sam Clark now, who winds up and gets it over. Nearly down, but Matautia gets it over. Right side now, Baldwin splits the block, charging out of play, kept up, and now it'll be the point to Ohio State.
Running all the way into the spot the blue band usually sits. They were able to race up the stairs a few steps and try to keep the ball alive, but of course that was the third and final touch. And there's only so much you can do. I haven't met anybody who can pass the ball that far.
There also aren't many gyms around the country where you have that much court that you have open to you to run. A lot of teams play on their basketball floor. I know at UCLA they play on Pauley Pavilion, which is the basketball home.
Right.
And so you don't have nearly as much floor as you do in a gym here like Rec Hall.
Yeah, and actually with Rec Hall, the setup you have here, I mean, it's such a long court. And you even have a track that circles around from the top about 1/8 of a mile, so, you know.
Around the country that are dedicated to volleyball don't have nearly this much court space. As the ball now with the Bruins, as Ku Jensen will dump it down. Ku Jensen now on the afternoon.
The Ohio State side pretty upset with that call. They seem to think that Ku Jensen had caught the ball and actually thrown it straight down, and that's why UCLA got the point, but of course not able to do the challenge. They're very upset on this Ohio State side, and rightfully so. I thought that was easily a catch and then a shove downwards.
Either way, it's the 7th kill of the afternoon now for Ku Jensen as the serve comes across to Devilbus. Left side, it'll be Lolleman cross-courted to Power, and then it'll be Ku Jensen again on the attack. Back-to-back kills for the freshman setter. And it's now 19-14, UCLA by 5.
And with a couple of these calls going in the opposite direction of Ohio State, now you're starting to see the pressure mount on their faces. And rightfully so, Birch calling a timeout.
Timeout Ohio State as UCLA has won 3 straight points and they have a 5-point advantage in this contest. Buckeyes using their final timeout there, and we'll step aside with at Damon College, which is up in Amherst, New York. Then they played at George Mason 2 days later. Then they played at Princeton 2 days later before last Friday playing at UC San Diego. They've only had 1 match so far out on the West Coast. And again, they'll take on Princeton out in Westwood next. after this afternoon's match. So UCLA right now has a 5-point advantage, 20-15. As checking back in is Luke Lenton. Serve received by Knight. And center court, it's going to be Youngren who obliterates that ball down to the floor. And you can really just feel like the life has been sucked out of the Buckeyes as the Bruins are now just 4 points away.
Yeah, I don't want to be one to give the verdict before it's already over, but yeah, Ohio State's done. I mean, this match, it's essentially over. Bruins, you know, they're going to come away with this victory the way Ohio State's playing.
And that pass, or that set, was tracking over the net. Lenton tried to keep it alive, but he ended up going into the net as he reached for it. So now the Bruins 3 points away, and this one may be a little bit too far for the Buckeyes to overcome. As the serve down the middle and make that ace number 12 on the afternoon, as Youngren will have his third ace of the season, his second of the afternoon, and it's now 23-15.
Yeah, the effort on the Ohio State side, you can certainly tell that it's tapered off. No timeout being called from Coach Birch, meaning this game essentially over.
Another serve over here, this one to Devilbus. Left side, it's going to be Baldwin who goes down the line. And it seems like any time today Ohio State has needed a point, they've gone to him.
He's been their steady leader. He's somebody that they can always turn to. Whenever you needed a point, like you said, David, he was the one that these Buckeyes went to. Perhaps a little bit too little too late, but nonetheless, a good performance from him all day long.
The redshirt freshman opposite, who's the lone attacker in double figures, has 12 kills as an overpass tap back by the Buckeyes. Center court, it's going to be Matheny who whiffed on the ball. And a net violation is going to be called on Ohio State.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. A whiff on Matheny's or on the UCLA side. Ohio State touches the net, so gets called for the violation there. And the ball miraculously finds its way across onto the Ohio State side. That's what a turn of events, really.
Match point now for UCLA as they lead 24-16, looking to take this match in 4 sets. Kuyensen, serve received by Devilbus. To the left side now, where it'll be Devilbus over the block, and the ball kept alive as Makesh handles that ball out of the back row. It'll be Lalaman. It's Doug. And now it'll be a stop for Ohio State, staying alive in this match.
What a job on the UCLA though, or on the UCLA side though, from both Alex Wright as well as Cole Power. Those two guys laying out and keeping the ball alive, trying to finish off this match. But now another chance to do so, David.
Match point number 2 now for the Bruins as Austin Gerwig serves down the middle. Center court, it'll be Daniel Matheny who ends this match in 4 sets as he picks up kill number 11 on the afternoon. And the Bruins take this 4th set, 25-17.
Yeah, David, that was a really good showing from the UCLA side, fighting through adversity. This Ohio State team, you know, they lose their first match of the season, finally facing a true opponent in the Bruins. But a good job fighting through adversity for UCLA, using some